Sero here on a journey of becoming myself. Zero to Sero. Happy New Year and happy first day out of quarantine for me, that I wanted to actually share with you the sunrise right behind me and just what I learned through being in quarantine. First, I recognize my privilege of being able to quarantine on my own in the state that our world is still in with pandemic, and so I am thankful that I was able to quarantine in Jeju Island at a home all on my own, and I was also able to receive hospitality of the family that's hosting me, as well as the community of the public service workers that wants to care for the island, the country. They're the simple ways, right? I woke up one morning to a text saying, "Oh, we left you a bag of tangerines," and it was this humongous bag of tangerines that I actually went through within 10 days, and each day eating 5+ tangerines a day. And while I haven't met the family yet, I was just able to actually just receive this chang in Korean, which means compassion, this kindness, this love of humanity through this family. And the public service workers came by to drop off food as well that I could heat up, so that yes, I had another friend who ordered me groceries and stuff. So while I was able to take care of myself, I also was able to receive this hospitality, this chang, this compassion from the community as I stayed put and quarantine. And another privilege I do recognize is I wasn't sick. I didn't quarantine because I had a positive case of COVID at all. All my COVID tests that I've taken before the trip, right after the trip, twice, however painful they might have been, they all thankfully came out negative. So I wasn't sick. I was endangering anyone else in the process, so I recognize that privilege as well. But most importantly, and what I wanted to share with you is the privilege and honor of being reminded right before my quarantine. A friend told me how God will have me quarantine wherever He wants me to meet me at, and in ways that really simple statement as that is, that really stuck with me, and that convicted me of my posture, my attitude coming into quarantine. In ways I was concerned about what would 10 days quarantining look like in a country I technically did grow up, but I was born, but in a place where I speak the language, yes, but often it is also a place that I am at times feeling like the other, because I am Americanized in ways. So it was just kind of mixed feelings, and my fear of claustrophobic. So I'm the closed space. So as someone that does have a little claustrophobic, I was concerned, depending on where I will get to quarantine, like what would that look like? So as my anxiety and worries were ramping up as I was preparing for the trip, I found myself really concerned about the 10 days. And a friend spoke truth to me about how Jesus will have me where He wants me to be, where He wants to meet me. And with that, that same friend also later gently reminded me how essentially solitude is a quarantine from the world. And while I was in it, that's exactly what I got to see. As Jesus had to go to Samaria to meet the Samaritan woman who became the first who was the first to be, who Jesus revealed, the first to be revealed of, as well as the first evangelist, essentially. And thinking of that, reminding of how Jesus is, God is, and has always been this intentional, relational God. And He had to have me where I am. So with the sunrise right behind me, with the cold, chilly weather, I am thankful how intentionally God had me quarantine in this season for such a time so that I can just be on a date with Him for 10 days and enjoy the solitude of being with Him, being loved by Him in the ordinary, the intentional ordinary. So wherever you are, what is that for you? How is that for you? Are you well? Not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Are you able to breathe? Are you able to go on a date with Jesus and be intentional in the ways of receiving that intentional love? So I just want to challenge you to possibly make time to do that in the beginning of the year, as well as I challenge myself to think about what is the rhythm that I want to bring, and just enjoy the simple things like the sunrise, the snow. It snowed yesterday. Really, the simple things. So thank you for being part of my journey of becoming. 고맙습니다.